Combustion.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Been running the game with my team making plays. Talking 80, my G's, 100 jewels in this place. Surrounded by dogs, keep the quarterback safe. I'm the one with the plans, they gon' do what I say. The game is not over, we don't celebrate in the end zone. We don't got no time in the wait. Ain't tryna run down, we don't premeditate. We just go and get to it, we got them on skates. If the game going to overtime, kicking the overdrive, we gon' be first at the finish line. Play looking full, but I finish mine. Can I get seconds? We gon' line up like it's dinner time. We put in work till we get us a ring. Super Bowl season, we running the scene. Ain't tryna home of the realest that breathe. Keep your face down when you talk to the king. What up, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of the H-Town Rundown. This is your boy AD, and I got my co-host in the building. We got Mike G, and we got Jules. What up, fellas? How y'all doing on this great Wednesday, hump day?
We're doing well.
Hump day.
Hump day.
How you feeling in that dictator chair, Jules?
I mean, it's better than driving this an hour and a half way in traffic in Houston. I'm doing well now.
Hey, let me say this: Houston traffic is ass.
Right.
Yes.
I think everybody in Houston knows Houston traffic is ass. Anywhere you gotta go, it's at least a 30-minute drive. It can be in the same area.
Same borough.
You can go from one end of Katy to the other. It's 20-minute drive.
Everybody knows Houston's an hour from Houston.
ain't no lie.
But yeah, I appreciate everybody joining us live on this good Wednesday. There's been a lot of shit going on the last few days. You had that scouting combine at the end of last week. You had all the transactional moves from the combine, the releases, the trades. You name it, it's been happening. It's been news story after news story after news story, especially today. It seemed like it was nonstop for a while, and then there's another rumor that just popped up about Kyler Murray being traded. So it's just a lot of stuff going on. And we here to talk about it. We're here to talk about it right here, the H-Town Rundown. But we'll go down the list. We'll talk about the Texan news of the day, because there were a few notes and nuggets for the Texans in their news today. We'll talk about the scouting combine and what we thought about it and who we, would like to see from the combine. And then we'll go down and give our, power rankings of prospects after the combine. What we think the Texans would do if they stay at 25. And, we'll go right into the free agency, because right now names are piling up in the free agency.
Every 5 minutes, somebody popping up or being traded.
Yep. So, we're going to talk about those trades that have happened already as well. So we'll go right into it. First things first, the Houston Texans made some moves financially. They made a move in restructuring Nico Collins' contract, opening up $9.8 million in cap space, converting most of that money to signing bonus. So I think it's the start of many, many moves, that's going to happen for the Houston Texans going forward financially. As that opened up, I think the cap space, according to Texan Cap, was $18 million after the Nico move.
How'd that go to rookie pool?
I don't even think it's that. We only got 6 picks, so got to think about that. Second thing is the Houston Texans used some of that money very, very quickly by signing the great Dare Ogunbowale back. Dare is back, people. Dare Ogunbowale is back on the Houston Texans as our third down running back, special team ace. T-Real already the best third down back in the league is back with the Houston Texans. For sure. Houston's
all this fails. Just put Dare back there.
Backup kicker, man. Our backup kicker is back with the Houston Texans. Definitely major signing, major.
Right.
I mean, total game changer.
Big.
Ain't no reason to draft a running back now.
You're right.
Big big
He stops you
leaguers,
from drafting a special
big
team
league.
player, a linebacker, a kicker, a running back.
He does it all, man. Does it all. So and then also, shout out prayers to Tank Dell. He's having had his ACL surgery today, which essentially put Tank Dell out for the 2025 season. So everybody, to all Texan fans, y'all say your prayer for Tank Dell and his recovery, speedy recovery, healthy recovery. No setbacks. We don't need him going out dancing and all that. We don't need you in any more U of H games, Tank Dell.
Or Miami.
Or in Miami. Stay your ass in the house.
Right.
Um, and then here we go, Texas tangent. Let Dari kick all short kicks, man. Only allowed to kick 36 yards or more. Hey,
We laugh, but it's not a bad idea.
whatever works, whatever works. So I think that wraps up the Texan news for today.
Well, I
Yeah,
know our key one of our key guys we want to come back. The D tackle.
Foley, that is right. That's the other news. Foley Fadakowski, potential free agent re-sign. It has shoulder surgery and it's pretty significant. It's going to delay his free agency and teams going out trying to you know sign him in the offseason because he'll be ready by season starts, but I don't think he'll be ready for any offseason activities. So that may delay him being signed. Then the Houston Texans because of that, the Houston Texans are tied to an old friend, Sheldon Rankins.
There you go.
It's tied back to the Houston Texans as a potential free agent re-signing. But again, I think his contract will be modest. I think Foley got a $10 million contract. Sheldon's not getting anywhere near that. So we'll see what it looks like when he resigns. Because at this point, if it's already reported, it's happening.
Right.
Um,
So Texas fans, if we don't go big in D tackle, they seem to have something in the works, and I think Falikasi would probably be closer to coming back with
mhm,
a fair deal than him going somewhere else because we know him. He's shined here better than he's probably shined in a couple years. So and it fits good for him, and he can shine better for maybe for next year and get
mhm,
one last good contract if he shows up again after surgery. So it's a good way that he can come back, and with the little money that we do have, it's
mhm.
probably a good fit.
Absolutely. So,
Yeah.
go ahead, Mike.
I proposed the question probably like a week ago whenever he was hitting free agency, Sheldon Rankins. And, people weren't really vibing with it. But, I mean, he was solid here. He didn't have Will Anderson and Daniil Hunter on either side of him, bookend. And so that would open up more lanes, obviously, for him to create pressure. And Fadakasi, I mean, underrated pass rusher, excellent run defender. When he's healthy, you get two guys who can't really stay healthy, put them in there. At least one of them got to stay healthy. So,
Okay.
And obviously D'Amico loves having more depth and
Mhm.
rotating guys in. So I think it'd be a smart, savvy, cap friendly type of move. So he can play when he's on the field.
Right.
Absolutely. Hey, it's a lot about to go down in this because I think this will be. I know the people always talk about the NBA free agency and the NBA trade deadline and how it's always crazy, a lot of moves here and there. I think this will be one of the busiest, wildest NFL off seasons to date, as far as trades, as far as the draft, as far as players' movement. Um, it's gonna be a lot going on.
Yeah,
This
it's
also,
already started.
yeah, it's already started. Shout out Lakeville. What's good with you? What's your question, brother? What's your question
Go
before
ahead.
we move on?
Go and get out the way.
What's your question, brother?
I mean, and why he's typing his question up. I mean, ID tackles wasn't very healthy throughout the whole year, so
Mm-hmm.
he knows how to work with guys who's nagging injuries, make them fresh. I mean, we always said maybe he hold on to players, keep them holding back, not playing for a while to get 100% healthy, but he
Mm-hmm.
seems to work for him. So we can get those 4 or 5 players that may not be always healthy, but can shine for 4 games here, 6 games here, then all of them show up in playoffs when we need them. It's good because that's one thing that we didn't have to worry about was the D tackles and the D line.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Hold
Well, you
on.
can ask your question or not.
No, he did. He did. Hold on. Damien said the NFL took over a couple years ago. NBA still got something up their sleeve.
I mean, for a day.
Yeah. He said, why the fuck the Texan fans want to sign these old ass wide receivers? I'm assuming he's talking about Cooper Kupp and he's talking about Hunter Renfro. So
Renfro. What's that boy out of Seattle that's got cut?
Tyler Lockett.
But he ain't white.
Oh, he said white. I'm sorry, I thought he said old.
Oh, he did say old as wide receiver. I thought he said
There we
white.
go. See, I ain't trying to be racist all the time.
I know. I've been known to be a racist, supposedly. I've had comments saying I'm a racist against white people, even though I got a co-host right here.
DEI hire right here. Lockett's a little washed though. I mean, I wouldn't hate it if it was a cap friendly type of.
They don't have sleeves.
I mean, but there's definitely some receivers I would prefer. Chris Kurt.
He's talking about
Chris Godwin. Cooper Kupp.
First of all, Chris Kirk ain't old.
Yeah. No, I think he's talking about Chris Godwin, but Godwin ain't old either.
No.
T-Real say Walter Nolan, please. We're gonna get to that in a minute. Because they're the only names they know. I agree. People love the name. They don't realize the player. We'll talk about a couple of those free agents that got released that are now free agents. But before we do that, before we go all the way left, we got to reel it back and go back to what happened this weekend with the scouting combine, NFL combine. Mike G, what are your initial thoughts about the NFL combine?
I got several. I mean, Will Howard can't throw. That's
Quinn Ewers either.
Yeah,
he said he's the most pro-ready quarterback of all people in the league in the draft class. His words, not mine. I didn't see it through Texans 3 years he was starter, but hey, he said he pro-ready.
Neither one of them can hit the backside of a barn. I tell you, that safety out of South Carolina getting some well-deserved Kyle Hamilton comparisons.
Right.
Plays like DK Metcalf, who could be another receiver Texans look at. I mean, my God, what a freak. What a freak. Matthew Golden out of Texas. You know, it wasn't all bad.
He a big freak?
Matthew Golden, unlike his teammate Isaiah Bond, whose word is not Bond, Matthew Golden was flashing that speed, dog. It's unfortunate because I'd love him to fall to the Texans. So maybe we can get him a gas mask and have him fall, but he's definitely going to be one of the top receivers. He was blazing out there. Terrence Ferguson, tight end, Oregon.
Yeah.
Had the fastest 40 time. Really didn't see that coming. He looked solid on tape, but I didn't really see that speed. It's a pretty good tight end class. His 10-yard split was really good. You know, it's not all about the 40-yard dash. And he's not afraid to block.
There we go.
Unlike a certain tight end on this roster. So, hey, third round, maybe early fourth round. You know, Nick Cassera going to always move around on the board. That could be an option. Maxwell Hairston, not that corner's really a big need, but the corner out of Kentucky had a great combine. Landon Jackson, edge isn't a huge need for us, but he probably played his way in. Huh?
Talking about Mr. Clean?
That's right. Yeah, he probably played his way into a first round pick. There's another edge rusher.
Hold on, Mike.
Okay.
Landon Jackson is light-skinned Larry Tunsil. He has no facial hair, no hair. Just he's the light-skinned Larry Tunsil. Go ahead.
Does he play the run game at all, like Tunsil? Or
look, no, he actually is decent against the run. His name is no ho Hank.
Shamar Stewart is another. Somebody on this podcast has heard of him before. The production wasn't always there, but as AD's pointed out, he wasn't really put into the position to excel in that department, putting up hellified, sack numbers and such. But hey, he's got the measurables. I hear Jacksonville's gonna trade all their picks to get to the number one. Take them.
Right on brand.
And speaking of prospects that we've talked about before, Tootin, the running back out of Virginia Tech.
Didn't we draft him in our mock draft on last week?
We did. Yeah, Jules was really pushing for that, and it turns out he had the fastest 40-yard dash. I think he had the fastest 10-yard split as well.
Correct.
He's got some burners there.
He's not a small guy. He's not a small guy either.
He's not. He's not.
5'11", 205.
205.
Yeah. 4.32. I mean, hey, as a day 2 option, he could be on the board there, and the Texans could be looking at him, unless Dare just has too much firepower.
Dare walks into the office, say, "Nick, you signed me for 2.5. No more running backs. I'll do it all." You know what I'm saying?
And there were a few guys out of Iowa State. Cyclones actually had a few guys. Darian Porter balled the fuck out at corner. And 2 receivers, Jalen Noel and Jaden Higgins, who are kind of 2 very different types of receivers. Higgins is more like T. Higgins. And Noel is kind of a hybrid between a slot and outside guy who can make some plays. I did see somebody, I think it was the 33rd team, they had Noel going to the Texans recently.
Yeah.
So could be like a day 2 option. So a lot of guys who stood out the combine. There were some that kind of were on the losing end, but like Tez Johnson. But hey,
wasn't very high on him in the first place.
Yeah. Hey, when you run a 4.10 at 152 pounds?
154 pounds, man.
Yeah. Sheesh.
Yeah, it was 4.55. Yeah.
Yeah, it was bad. Now he's quick off the line, but he's not Tank Dell quick. So
we've seen that before.
Yeah.
So to piggyback on Mike's comment, Scott, I think Texas fans really need to go back and watch the combine, because we might not have a lot of picks, but if we trade down, which I think me and Mike both agree about trading down from 25.
I agree too.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm saying,
shit, damn. The
Oreo, the Olga right here. No, we all agree in the same situation. You know what I'm saying? But if they do trade down a couple times and get more picks, a 3rd and 4th picks, I do deep dive, because these guys that they're drafting, they want to play, and you can tell the way that Nick has drafted and with D'Amico, if they draft you in the 2nd, 3rd round, 4th round, even 5th round, you're going to play. They need you on the team because now, unlike we had 25, now that Dare is back, we got 24 free agents that we have to replace or re-sign a draft, and I know hopefully at least 7 of those players come through the draft.
Yeah. So, with that being said, I take this idea from, he calls himself the ambassador, and I give him that title, ambassador of the H-Town Rundown. Our boy Tony, y'all know him on Twitter as Tony Snow. He's T-Real 713 in the chat. Gave the great idea, he talked about Walter Nolan, of a power ranking prospects for the Texans at pick 25, if they stay at 25. And, I've compiled a list of guys who I think will potentially be there. Some may potentially not. I know that our boy Alfredo talked about Matthew Golden. With the combine he just had, Matthew Golden will not be there at 25. He was one of the guys I really want to put on this list, but because of his combine, I could not put him on the list. And, here we go. Top 10 draft prospects at 25. Nick Imawari.
There you go.
Who Mike talked about having a great combine. Walter Nolan, who T-Real talked about, is on this list. Gray Zabel, who had an interesting combine, had a pretty good combine as well. Center guard from North Dakota State, who's slowly rising up. Again, Brandon talking about Kenneth Grant. He's on this list as well. And his weak ass, I guess he's talking about the bench press.
Right.
You got Derek Harmon, you got Amon Membo, Luther Burden, who I'm praying to God is there at 25, but he may not be. Meka Ibuka is another one, wide receiver from Ohio State. And of course, the top prospect is Tyler Booker, who, for whatever reason, Mike gonna have to sell me on him, but for whatever reason, he's beloved amongst Texans brass, amongst NFL brass, because of his personality and locker room presence.
And what school he went to?
He went
Hey.
to Bama.
Hey.
Roll Tide.
Roll Texans. That's right.
Yes. Tyler Booker, I think, has put on a show in the meeting room.
Right.
Because he for damn sure didn't put one on the field at the combine.
His compound was lackluster. I give you to him, but he didn't have much to prove because we know he's steady. And a guard, there's not much a guard can do to improve his really status when you have 4 or 5 years of good tape on him, at least 3 good years tape on him, and playing at the highest level and gets the best competition. And it's he has more to prove on off the field than he has on the field.
So let me say this, man. He can't move. He can't move. So
hey, big man to big man guards. All you gotta do is move 5 yards to the left, 5 yards back, 10 yards. That's all you really do.
What happens when you got to pull?
Hey, this is the guy to pick up stunts and twists.
There we go. Because we got a guy who used to move in A&M and can't put up stunts though.
Because he's done it at Bama. You can say, hey, he's not perfect. Hell, nobody is. But he can pick up some stunts and twists. And if anybody out here has watched our film reviews over the past season and how we were not able to pick up stunts and twists, hey, he may not be the best option for his own scheme, but he's certainly going to be in the conversation on the Texans board if he's there at 25. And he may not be there, but hey, he can pick up some stunts and twists. He can block. So,
and what's his natural left or right?
The left guard.
Yeah,
if I'm not mistaken. Looking at all his film, but I think he's played both.
Yeah, he has. That's what I'm asking. Because we all know that Tunsil is not a very good teammate to his left guards. So we'll need somebody who's independent and can stay on his island by himself when he has no help. And he may not be able to move, but if he's smart enough and he know how to put, of course, pad, helmet pads, all that stuff, and footwork, he might be the best spot.
So we'll see, man. We'll see. Like I said, I didn't add Matthew Golden. He said sneak Shamar Stewart in there after the combine. Shamar is probably going top 10.
Top 15.
Top 10.
Top 15.
Number 1.
We can bet on that later.
Hold on. Damian said if the coaching isn't right, he'll look like King Green. And then Brandon said Howard might be sitting over there at left guard.
Yeah, I think he will be.
Probably will. But I ranked them in this order: Tyler Booker 1, Emeka Ibuka 2, Luther Burden 3, Armand Membo 4, Derek Harmon, who I love, at 5, Nick Imawari at 6, Walter Nolan at 7, Amari Hampton. Love Amari Hampton. That's just my personal bias. If Amari Hampton is there, I think he'll go before 25. But if Amari Hampton is there at 25, I don't give a damn. Nick, send the pick in.
I'm gonna make a lot of money off this draft here. What you say? That's twice. We're gonna bet after this conversation.
So again, like Brandon's saying, it's a lot of people that may not be there. Luther may not be there. I need Luther on the team just so I can pull out all my Luther Vandross memes. Just so I can hit him with another one. Never too much. Never too much Luther. I can't wait for what's his name? What's the God damn it. Rock and roll.
What are you talking about?
Vander.
Yeah. Vandermeer.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I can't wait till he say rock and roll. Never too much, Luther. Never too much,
Oh
Luther.
Lord.
Armand Mimbo probably won't be there. Luther probably won't be there. There's a chance Emeka won't be there at 25. Nick, I don't think he'll be there at 25. Um, but there's a chance if certain players and certain things happen at these pro days. Quarterbacks could be an issue as well. Jackson Dart could jump up high. Shadur Sanders could fall. It's a lot of different things that can happen in this draft. Kenneth Grant, I don't know. There's been mocks saying he'll be a top 15 pick. There's other mocks saying he won't be in the first round.
Right.
But I'm not a big fan of Kenneth Grant at D tackle. People love him. He's just not my cup of tea. He said that's why Titus has to stay next to Tunsil. They're buddies.
That's not a good thing because ever since he got him and Howard got buddy Howard, and his play then kind of fell off, or his not his play because everybody keeps saying he's more consistent. His aggressiveness and his project to be better than what he has. He's been good, but he was supposed to be better after a couple seasons. He was supposed to be one of the best tackles in the league, and he was showing it because he could move, but he ain't shown that same fire since him and Tunsil got been buddy.
They like the Fat Wayans brothers. We're brothers. We're happy and we're eating and we're colored. Give me a high five.
So Mike, on this list, who's your number one prospect on this list for 25 for Texas?
It would be between Booker, Harmon, and Burden. I'd be happy with any of them.
Mm-hmm.
If you could get any one of them and trade back and stockpile a little bit,
right?
I'd prefer that over just settling on one of them. But I'm not upset if we take any one of them there. My biggest concern would be Zabel, not because I don't like his tape, but because his worst spot is right guard. I remember Daniel Jeremiah pointing out, like, opposing defensive line were like, yeah, I'll face Zabel, but only if he's at right guard. And how Nick is going to go, ooh.
I got a comment on that. I'm a comment on that.
Hello.
Another versatile lineman who I could move all over, just like Titus. I'm like, no, let's move on from that, please. So, but yeah, I guess it'd be between Burden, Booker, and Harmon for me.
So from this list, I'm not just like last year. Whatever the Texans do, I'm gonna dissect it. I'm gonna say the good, bad. I'm gonna put them in the four. I'm not really sold on anyone. I'm really sold on trading down. But if this dynamic player is there at 25, and we took care of business on some of our needs in free agency, whether it's big moves or just another combination of both. If this cat's there at 25, I'm running to the podium, and that's South Carolina safety.
Nick Emery.
Yeah, he's dynamic. That's probably everybody on this list you got is good. They athletic, they time, but I think Nick can be special. I think he can be real special in his defense. And for all the people who know me, you know who I hate the most on this team. It has nothing to do with Jimmy Ward and get him off my squad. I just think at 25 of this complete list, I think he's the most star power and difference maker right now on this board.
Hey, so who is the what would you do what would you do with Kalen Bullock?
Oh, they playing together.
Oh, they didn't play together?
They don't play together.
Okay.
I mean, they're not. They have a similar skill set. Nick's a little bigger and a little more, just more mass to him. I mean, but if D'Amico can disguise certain blitzes, disguise certain coverages, you'll know who might be going back, going forward. That makes your offense and your quarterbacks second guess what they're gonna do when they want to go deep or when they have passes. So if they don't know who's gonna do which, because they interchangeable, because they can do both, it just makes your defense better and makes your pass rusher even
Mhm.
more. And we all know that our two pass rushers have the best pass rate ratio. Now finishing could be a little better, but if you put another high quality secondary guy that can cover a little better, they could finish better. That's
Brandon, yeah. So Brandon say 2 6'3" fast safeties with ball hawk skills will be elite.
elite.
Texans tangent trade back is the best bet.
That's that's
Um,
that's that's what we agree upon too. We want more draft picks.
Brandon said Imawari takes those snaps from Ward and or Eric Murray, not Bullock.
Mm-hmm.
Are you saying he'll be playing down in the box?
I think
Um,
for I think for the first couple games to get his feet wet because it's a transition and like we said about Bullock, we love Bullock pick at the third round. We thought that was the best pick of all the draft. But I also said it's a veteran game. You have to learn because these quarterbacks can look you off with eyes and think you're doing something and you throw a bad angle or you think you know something and they trick you. So him playing in the box more until he gets to familiar about coverages would be the best. And then that gives Bullock more time to beat him back there because he's that ball hawk safety that we needed for a long time.
yeah. Um, T-Rail said Jules was a big Taylor Mays fan back in the day. Jules was also what's the safety for the Ravens right now?
Kyle Hamilton. I
Kyle
I
Hamilton.
I, I beat up
Um,
and down for Kyle Hamilton.
did what?
Beat up and down. I ain't saying beat anything else, but beat up and down. There's a lot of things that can be beat up and down, which your nerves more.
um, there we go. Especially when one of them has Cam Chancellor size.
Right.
Trenches, and more trenches.
We agree, buddy.
Give Miko a DT. Um, all of those things.
Yeah, man. Like I said, we at the point of this draft is filling the holes, and we always say in Nick we trust, and Nick has shown with especially on defense side that if you come to play and you have a good attitude, he can help you shine as long as you come to play. Now the offense side of the ball, that's where we got Nick Haley from. That's why we gotta get that GM come off the booth a little bit, maybe get a headset a little bit. Got to put some fear of God in these offensive line guys. I'm gonna call them out.
Mm-hmm.
But it's I'm not worried about anybody on the defense side when it comes to Nick. D'Amico Ryan.
D'Amico. So the reason why we're talking about all this is that this is part 4 of our 4-part series. We're turning the page. So right now we're moving moving slowly into the mock draft free agency conversation. We started out with a mock draft last week. Y'all go back and take a look at that. It's kind of like we were Nostradamus. The way we picked these guys, because even the center from Georgia had a great combine. I forgot his name that we drafted. Wilson had a great combine, and we end up drafting him, I think, in the 4th round or something like that. So y'all go back and take a look at that video from I think it was posted Thursday last week. So y'all go ahead and check that out.
If you always look back at if you like what
share,
subscribe, you ain't gonna never miss it.
There you go. You can always go back to it because it's gonna be in your topics.
Yeah. Hey, this is a name too. Savania. Is that how you say it? The guard from Arizona said trade back and get Savania and a wide receiver in the second, Higgins. Amor. I don't know how to say his name.
From Stanford.
Yeah, the Stanford and Beck. Or Beach. Is it Beach or Beck?
Beck. I think it's Beck. I'm not a big guy. I'm not the Stanford guy. I'm not really big on him.
Yeah. So we here. And we're gonna talk about it. But Jules, this is all you, brother. What about you on the news of the day? If we talking about the news, or we talking about the free agency?
Well, I think we can go to free agency right now because there's a lot of free agency happening, a lot of news happening. It's gonna be a little more than that.
So the news ties into the free agency.
Right. So so we can go to the news right quick. The NFL news, just in case you missed it. 1 second, put my notes up. If somebody just crashed on me.
I'll start with one that's not on your notes. That right now, I don't know how credible this is, but it's a report that the Bednards are that the New York Football Giants are the highest. I don't know how you say it. Are the best
Has
odds, the best odds to trade for Kyler Murray from the Arizona Cardinals.
the Giants doing Giants things.
Um,
The
so,
Giants doing what Giants do. So I mean, like a bunch of news has happened in the NFL. So we're gonna start off a couple of signings. The Eagles get better or they retain their talent. You know, they Barkley got a $41 million extension. I
mhm,
think 36 of that's guaranteed. He
mhm.
earned every dollar that without him, they don't make a Super Bowl. And the fact that he didn't have enough yards or even impact on the game, him showing up at the game was a big impact and allowed Jalen Hurt and the receivers to they do. So that was a big thing, and he earned it. They re-signed their linebacker who was on a prove it deal, Zach
Mhm.
Bond,
Mhm.
Yeah.
and he was like, I'm gonna go to Philadelphia on Sean, and he paid off. This is what you expect when you say prove it deals
Mhm.
and believe in your talent and believe in your athletic and you shine somewhere. That's why we want a couple of these players to come to Houston. I mean, if you're a fringe player that you think that's been passed over and you want some big money to come shine, no, we might
Not named players not named Dalton Schultz. Um,
anyway.
we signed him to a prove it deal and shit. He didn't prove shit and still got paid.
Right. Max Cosby got the bag,
Mhm.
the highest paid non-quarterback.
106 million on 3 years. Whew.
Whew, so I'm saying he like Mike. No, he got some Negro in him. And then you have the Chicago Bears who are pulling the same thing the Texans did last year, is trying to get a talent on while you have a rookie deal. They traded for two guards,
Mhm.
Jackson and
Yeah.
what's the other guard from
Jonah Jackson and
and Turner
um mhm,
Turner, right? From Kansas
Toonie.
City?
Yeah.
Toonie.
Toonie.
Okay.
Toonie from the Chiefs.
I
Jonah
know I know
Jackson from
Toonie.
the Rams and
Joe Tooney.
Joe Toonie from the Chiefs. I think they traded a 4th round pick for Toonie.
Mm-hmm.
I
Mhm.
think they traded a 5th round pick for Jackson.
Yeah.
I think so, something like that. Then of course here's the big news that kind of affect the Texans. Some requests to be traded
Mm-hmm.
was DK Metcalf.
Mm,
A release, two players got released that we talked about a while back. Christian Kirk,
mm-hmm.
he got released, and the old
Or it's
time
potentially
lock.
about to be released.
Yeah, of course they can't go into the season starts, but they all about to reportedly released. And Tyler Lockett been released from
Mm-hmm.
Seattle.
You forgot the trade.
Oh, well, for the 49ers and the Commanders?
Yeah.
I thought we talked about that already. But yeah,
Debo Samuel.
Debo
Mhm.
Samuels. We had a couple of discussions about Debo. I'm not a big Debo fan because I actually want a receiver and not a weapon. But y'all kind of overdid me. So he's is a big pickup for the Commanders. And just like the Texans and Bears did, once you have a good season with your rookie quarterback and you want him to develop and get better, you give him weapons, you give him protection, and you keep helping developing. And he's going to be a great tool to go with Scary Terry.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And Texans Underground, yeah. Throughout the season, uh, I become a night owl sometimes, and so I end up watching teams like USC and San Jose State. So I did see some of his film throughout the year. He definitely could be a late round still.
Right.
So then Brandon said, Chiefs, we need to fix our line. Where do we start? I know Trey Joe Thuney.
Hey, the All Pro that couldn't do nothing against the Eagle defense.
This the second time that they've done that because they've traded away their best offensive lineman. They traded away what's his name? The tackle.
The tackle Orlando Brown.
Orlando Brown, who was their best offensive lineman. They traded him away a couple of years
Uh,
ago.
he wasn't their best lineman.
Who was
Well,
their best lineman that year?
no, I don't think they
Uh,
traded. I think they let him walk.
yeah, Creed Humphrey and Joe Tooney.
We're talking when Orlando Brown left. Was he on the team still?
I still think, yeah, both of them were better in my opinion. But
He said, "I'll take Chiefs don't win that division next year."
ooh, that's a
Hmm.
hot take.
They don't
Who's
better.
gonna win it? Denver?
Hey, what were their record last year before the playoffs?
Chiefs were like what 14-3?
They lost 2 games.
Now, look, if they blew it permanently with the refs, they didn't give up enough money, then hey, anything's up for grabs because they won a lot of close games. So,
right. So
but
go
they
ahead.
need that in order to, or devastating injuries in order to lose that division.
So here's the names. We're going to my free agent wish list. Here's the
Okay.
names of just receivers that are available for trade or for signing. We have DK Metcalf, Godwin, Christian Kirk, Devontae Adams, Diggs, Hollywood Brown, Cooper, Ken Allen, Elijah Moore, and Lockett. And my biggest thing, if we're gonna be uber aggressive and not really go, because we still got some other needs to take care of. I would love DK Metcalf. I just think the money won't work. I love Dante Adams, but if he still wants the big payday, even though he's getting his money no matter what, if he wants that last big deal and then maybe a 2 year deal, because he is what 32 years old, 31, 2 years old, he's up there
33, 34,
33.
something like
So
that.
I would love to get him on a 2 year deal and see what he works with. But if we have to penny pitch and try to make things work and go a little bit over, I still like Christian Kirk. I like him. I like him as a slot receiver. He can put him outside if necessary. Put him outside if necessary. He's not that old where he's starting to break down. I think he probably got something to prove because Jacksonville didn't work out, and everybody kept saying that he's overpaid. But when he was there for Jacksonville, he was performing. So I kind of like him as a number two for our number one, and that's what most fans got to remind. We won a dominant number receiver, but we got a dominant number one. We just need to have a couple receivers to stay healthy and can win some routes. So you may not have to have that big number one with 1A, 1B because you have that 1A right now.
Yeah. I mean, I know the DK noise is getting hot right now.
Oh yeah, most
Um,
definitely.
I think they just came out. Justina Anderson just came out and said that the starting price will be I think the ideal asking price will be a third round pick for DK Metcalf. Which is understandable because any team that trades for him has to pay him.
Right.
Hmm.
So that would I give up a third for DK? Hell yeah. Send it in, Nick. Run it in. But
But like
one
people
of the, huh?
people seeing these trades like, oh, it's a fifth or sixth, or it's not a lot of trade, but you're not forgetting the financial
Hmm.
backing behind that. You're taking on that contract and hopefully sign them to another extension because that's what we're looking for. We're not in that situation to take on huge amount of money and
Mhm.
draft capital going forward because we have one bona fide star that's looking for money next year. Go ahead, Eddie. I'm gonna cut
I'm
you.
talking about Jerry Stingley, and we got two more right behind them, and goddamn CJ Stroud and Will Anderson. But the person I've been talking about for a while, Christian Kirk.
Yeah, you have.
I wonder why.
Thanks and give him. He said I'm on the church. Big B said I'm on the church Kirk train.
Right.
We don't have to give up a pick. We don't. We don't have to give up a pick on him. And Christian Kirk is a perfect complement to what Nico Collins does.
Right.
Um, Kirk is gonna cost a pretty penny too, Rodney. He ain't gonna be no cheap, $12 million signing. He's gonna be,
Well, he got 17 right last time, right?
he got 20.
Okay, so I think he might be around the 15 range.
Yeah, but I mean, he ain't gonna be like no $10-12 million contract. So it's
Yeah.
gonna be close to what everybody else is getting. He's gonna be a very sought after wide receiver. But he's a perfect complement to what Nico Collins does. He can play inside, he can play out, and he's going to be productive. Whenever he's healthy, he's going to be productive. I know there's been a lot of talk, well, he's not healthy, whatever, hasn't been healthy with the Jaguars, whatever. Have you seen our wide receiver room?
Nobody's healthy, but
Nobody's healthy. Nico Collins, I think we talked about it on the space with the group chat today. Nico Collins missed 5 games.
every year.
Every year. Tank Dell missed what?
Every
4?
season, every season he's been on, he missed half.
Yeah. He missed 4.
Right.
You had Stephon Diggs miss 9 games.
Right.
So like you're not about to scare me away from getting a productive wide receiver talking about injuries when our room is already full of injuries anyway.
Right.
Give me the talent. Let him play, and he can, he'll get over that eventually.
And you still can draft a receiver in the second or third round
Yeah,
to complement
absolutely.
the
Yeah, you can
complement.
drive him in the first.
You still can if you if
You
you
can
if you,
drive
if
him
you
in the
feel
first if
sloppy
you
enough.
got it. Big B said, we will extend Hunter, then draft an edge next year. Well,
I
that's my
get that.
statement.
You can
Yeah.
find an edge every
You
year.
can find an
Mhm.
edge every
Every
year in the
year.
draft.
Right.
I.e. Shamar Stewart.
Last
I.e.
year, Jared Verse last year.
Yeah, Jared versus last year. Then you got the edge from Alabama. What's his name? The linebacker?
Jahan Campbell.
Uh, Campbell. There's another edge
And don't
that you
forget about the boy from Tennessee that was he was
yeah,
sliding the number
4.5,
one.
ran a 4.49.
Yeah, he was sliding number one all in the beginning of the college year. He
Mhm.
was that number one pick on his traits. I don't know why he fell back, but he did. But he ran a good 40. He
Mhm.
still has production, and Edge is still one of the key players, and that's why we hoping another couple edges move up and a couple tackles move up, so we can get the kind of players we're looking for: the tackles, receivers, the D tackles, all that stuff.
Mhm. He's talking about we already have rookie contract guard. These dudes don't know what to do with the talent that gets drafted.
Hmm.
If Nico and DK will look like Andre and Megatron, um, he said, "AD want a team full of Aggies. You ain't slick, bro."
But as good as DK has been with Russell and Geno Smith, I think he look even better with CJ.
Mhm.
CJ, there's no way CJ can out throw him.
Yeah.
And I think he high points the ball. DK Metcalf is DK Metcalf, so we ain't got to sell nobody. But
Mhm.
that'd be a great pickup if they can make them work. But
Fuck it, get both of them.
Yeah.
um, T-Real say my ideal thing would be to send a 6 or 7 pick to make sure we get them, but I'm terrified of Casario negotiating skills.
he ain't Bill O'Brien, okay? He ain't Bill O'Brien,
Hmm.
okay?
My
He
only
close.
concern with DK
He close.
is his diet, because he's been on record talking about how terrible he eats. And I would think, when I saw that initially, it's a joke. But there's been a few games where he left in the middle of the game, gets carted off to go take a shit. So,
Oh
you
my
know,
God.
maybe work on that a little bit. But
he,
I
he ain't
mean,
gonna, he ain't gonna be Zion Williamson in New Orleans.
but him and Nico would be a insane hellified combo. So I'm for it.
Yeah, hey. Um, if we get Nico, okay, he said that.
I think that at this point, that's probably the biggest free agent thing that position and player that we're looking at is receiver. So it's too many receivers out there that we can't sign at least one
Mm-hmm.
day one receiver. And then,
Devontae Adams.
yeah,
Mhm.
if he wants a 2 year deal, I have no problem with it.
Yeah.
You
I
know,
have no problem with nobody want a 2 year deal because they all above the age of 28, around that. But it has to be a 2 year deal because we have more things going on in the next couple years after that.
yeah.
All
So
right. All right. DK or Devontae Adams. Understanding that the contracts will be different.
And the
What do you
traffic.
give up?
we sign DK.
I
If
mean,
you
No,
can get DK, you take DK. He's young. One, he's 6 years younger. And yeah, you're going to have to pay him, but you're going to have to pay him both,
but
regardless.
I think I can get Adams for a 2 year deal with no draft capital. With DK, it's going to be maybe a 3 or 4 year deal, and you lose draft capital. Now, if we trade down, then be okay. We give up what we
But
trade down for.
what would be more explosive in the offense, DK and Nico, or Nico and Devontae? Because at this point, Devontae can still get separation. I feel like he's more of a possession receiver versus a burner, whereas DK is more of a burner than a possession receiver.
I mean,
So
talent wise, you go with the younger player and DK.
yeah,
I got you. But we working with $8-9 million though, buddy.
no, 16.
Minus minus the rookie
They
crap.
give away a third round pick, they drop it down. Drop it down.
If they trade the first round, the money goes down.
Mm-hmm. If you get Nico and DK, CJ can just throw effort balls every play down the field.
Yeah.
Of course, I mean DK is the guy that you would
Mhm.
want to take. I mean Devontae Adams is an option, but again, I don't think we're talking about. I think we talked about as a fan base. We talked about Devontae when he got released. What was it, yesterday or day before?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I don't think we're talking about him as much because I think it's an overwhelming sentiment that he's going to be a tandem with Aaron Rodgers wherever he goes. So I'm
Okay.
hoping it's Tennessee because that's where everybody goes to die. Is in Tennessee.
But I heard Sam Donald is a strong play for Tennessee though.
I heard also that the Vikings are gonna do what they need to do to get Sam Darnold back in Minnesota.
I don't think so.
I heard
Yeah.
they're not franchise taking him, but they said they wanted to re-sign him to a 2 or 3 year deal.
Then you're wasting the 2 or 3 years you had with JJ McCarthy.
Then
Yeah.
guess what?
Jordan Love again.
Nope, JJ McCarthy's on trade deadline on trade block.
I mean, he has no value because he got hurt 1 year. His first year, he got hurt. There's no value for him. He's already a friend first.
With this quarterback class, would you take him over Quinn Ewers?
McCarthy over Quinn Ewers? Yeah.
Yeah, slightly.
Would you take him over Jackson Dart?
No, I think Jason Dart has more potential to be a better pro.
Jackson Dart is right now is 3 years older than JJ McCarthy.
Yeah, JJ McCarthy is it came out of a extremely I am a system. I am not a game changer. I think Dart can be a game changer for at least for 8 years.
This is a wild scenario I'm about to paint.
Oh Lord.
And this can be a quarterback carousel that we kind of saw a couple years ago when Deshaun got traded and all these quarterbacks moving around. Russell Wilson traded, all this stuff happened, right?
Yeah.
The San Diego Chargers pick up the phone and call the Minnesota Vikings. And JJ McCarthy goes back to I called them San Diego Chargers, didn't I?
Yeah.
Okay.
LA.
LA Chargers. LA
See,
Chargers. Call. Hold on.
Mike ain't trying to hear this. Mike ain't trying to hear this.
like here's the deal.
Mike ain't trying to hear this.
I was kind of on that frame last year for like 5 seconds, and I was like, "Oh wait, no, the Chargers already paid Herbert. That's a wrap."
Justin Herbert is going to be traded.
He's not. I'm gonna make so much money for you.
Hold on. This is a scenario. This is the scenario. Let me paint my picture. Let me go ahead.
Let me sip my tea.
Drink your aloe vera juice and let me paint my picture about JJ McCarthy getting to the freaking Chargers and Justin Herbert being traded to the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Mm-hmm.
And all in all, the Vikings go in next year's draft and draft their replacement for Sam Darnold. They reset the clock on the quarterback. Oh, this is a good one right here. T. Law will be traded.
They are shut that down already.
Hey, we don't know. But the thing about it, you can say that right now, but what happens if he goes out there in his ass next year? Then he traded.
Next year, we traded next year.
Yeah.
I think this year they don't trade him because they think they have a better quarterback coach to coach him up. And even though Doug Pearson has a good rapport with quarterbacks and offense system, and it still didn't work for him, Liam Cohn, I guess considered a little younger and better, could probably talk to him a little better and have a better offense system, which is surprising me, but okay.
Yeah. T-Law get traded to WNBA.
Unnecessary, low blow, unnecessary.
But yeah, man, like it's been a lot going on. And what are y'all thoughts? I want to hear everybody in the chat. I want to hear y'all thoughts on the moves that have been made. What are the Texans? Hold on, because we talking about receivers. Did we even touch the defensive players?
No,
the Javon Hargrave. Javon Hargrave is on potential release list. As well as Jonathan Allen from the Commanders on a potential release. These guys both, if they're not able to be traded before the draft, these guys or within the vicinity of the next few weeks, they're going to be released as well. So and we're talking about D tackle, and I think Big B was talking about talent at the D tackle. Those two guys have talent. Would you pull the trigger on signing those guys in free agency if they get released?
Big Boy Allen, most definitely I would.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I guess whatever our biggest
See,
free agent signing at what position, I think we make that number one spot, the other one number one spot in receiving.
when you say Jonathan Allen, all I can think about is our boy, rest in peace, Chris Royal, talking about Deron Payne. God damn, Deron Payne. Y'all don't know what the hell y'all talking about with Deron Payne. That's the name y'all need to know. But definitely Jonathan Allen is a guy.
He's still a monster.
We're talking about both of them and Hargraves 2 years ago.
But
once again,
I wouldn't take a chance on Hargrave, him being 32, going on 33, coming off a season-ending injury.
But he fits the mold. He hurt. He comes back. He rests up a
How
little
old
bit.
is Calais Campbell though?
Hey, did he make the Pro Bowl almost?
Yeah, and he's like 47. So,
but AD talks so bad about me, so bad. You want this?
He was old. He played on a trash D line. So
imagine if he had help and how better it would be if he had two outstanding pass rate winners. He would be even better.
Look, then here's another name, y'all.
I'm gonna sip my drink again.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah. Get all that aloe vera up in you. Hugh Fonga is another name that is going to hit free agency as well. I think he's been linked to the Texans because of D'Amico Ryans and the 49ers relationship. He's a guy that, we can I would say it'd be a good chance to sign him, but it all depends on what the money is like. And I'm just of the belief that the safety prices are dropping.
Yeah, they've been dropping for years now.
I feel like, the top safety is back on the market again. Justin Simmons is a free agent again. And he had the biggest contract last year at the safety position. I think that was what, 15 million?
Yeah.
Was it?
Was it? I thought 15 million.
Yeah, I thought it was 15. Somebody fact check me.
I think that's right.
Yeah, I think it was a 1 year, $15 million contract. But I think this year you're going to see safeties going a range of like 10 to 12 million. I don't think it's as coveted a position. I think a lot of people are taking, moving guys around to play the safety position. Big B said he'll take Jonathan Allen in a heartbeat. Hell yeah. And then T Real said
$7.5 million.
Oh, okay. Well, then that makes my case even better.
Right. So anybody that have any injuries or down season, it's gonna take less than that. 6'5". Yeah.
So T Real said let's move Javon Holland would be
that would be a full circle moment there because he was a big piece of the Dolphins
Miami
console trade.
Yeah.
So
what's the contract for a young safety?
Well, all the safeties that is Hufanga and Javon Holland young.
Yeah, Holland's
young. It'll be his second contract, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's young.
Javon Holland is
26, 27.
24, 25.
Oh, he's actually 25. Okay.
Right.
And Hufanga is
like 28.
What is he? Hufanga. Where you at?
Where you at, girl? Where you at, girl?
I ain't gonna say no where you at, girl, but he's 25 as well.
Okay.
He just turned 25, so I think he said unless they're trying to steal him, Mekhi Bet. No, that ain't happening. I don't want. First of all, I don't want anybody last name sound like food.
We know you don't like bacon.
Yeah,
we had that conversation off air.
Nah, you don't like bacon. I'm gonna put you in the same category with goddamn Sarge that don't like black people food.
I just because I don't like bacon as much.
That is a nigga staple.
That is a worldwide phenomenon. People love bacon.
But you don't. So that's the problem.
I don't like bacon that much. I'm not a big bacon fan.
See, he watched Peppa Pig a lot with his kids. You make them turn off of the bacon. But I'm telling you right now, bacon is life.
Oh my
How
god.
many free agents can the Texans get after creating cap space 2 or 3? I
I
mean,
think one. I think one major.
you can get. I mean, you can probably get 2 if you can get up to that 40, 50, $60 million range with all the restructures and stuff.
That means you holding on to Howard for another year. You're not gonna cut him no time soon.
I don't mind.
That means you cut on the Tunsil. He ain't going nowhere for another 2, 3 years. I think Al. You know what? I'm not. I'm done. I'm not playing with y'all no more today.
Yeah. Hold on. He say Muslim people love bacon.
See.
Why you play? Hold on. Why you playing? They probably be sneaking on the side and don't be telling nobody. Look at the questions. Nick have us asking because our cap so cooked.
I mean, it's not cooked. I mean, they tried.
Boy, stir frying that shit.
They tried. they invested in O line. The O line did not produce as they should. But as far as he cooked, he's not cooked because he tried to, and he made splash moves last year, and the O line just didn't perform. Other than that, if the O line performed, this is a different conversation we're having today. Because I think if the O line played well, and Bobby was a little better than an OC. This is the last time I'm ever bring Bobby up. This team is in the championship game for AFC.
We'll see, man. We'll see. Hold on. He say that shit sizzling like my fajitas.
I'm just saying, man. Like he did his job. He made splash moves. He made big contributions. Everybody on defense. Once again, we said it last week. 7 new starters on defense. 10 players on the defense side that were new. They all contribute to a high level. Mixon played very well. So I mean, he put money into the system. Diggs was playing well until he got hurt. So it's not like he made any bad moves. It's just the old line didn't perform the way it needs to be because that's your highest paid position on the team and the most important position on the team. And you suck in draft capital, extensions, and huge deals on all 5 players, 6 players if you think about that because Juice was a second round pick. So they just didn't perform. I think
Blake Fisher, Juice Scruggs, second round picks, 2 first round picks for Larry Tunsil. Kenyon Green, first round pick. Right. Jared Patterson was a 5th 6th round pick, 6th round pick. And then you had Shaq Mason, you gave up a 6th round pick for him.
And then you extended him.
Yeah, then you extended them. So all in all, you spent premium draft capital, I think a total of 1, 2, 3, 4. Titus Howard, 4 first round picks on players, 2 second round picks, and 2 6th round picks on your offensive line.
Well, if you sign Justin Reed, that kills the safety conversation. He'd be a little cheaper.
I ain't gonna hold you. I was kind of on board with Justin Reed for a second. If he was going to come on a cheap deal,
yeah.
But Justin Reed trying to get a $9-10 million deal, he can go ahead and kick rocks, and go play for somebody like the Falcons or some shit like that. They need a safety. And then they even sent Green to Oregon to try to get him to improve. And he talked about no to Justin Reed.
Y'all can't let Justin Reed and leave on bad terms. They didn't re-sign him because they know what they were doing the first 3 years of the Nick.
So they didn't want to spend no money on nobody. So I don't think they signed any high value free agents. Them years that was the Rockets was tanking. They was just like, hey, give me oh yeah, Justin Reed almost blew out CJ knees. Keep him off my team. I mean, if he on your team, he can't do nothing to CJ.
I mean, it's common sense, right? I mean, the 1 + 1 is 2. But hey, it is what it is. I mean, we don't let y'all slide.
I mean, you talking about him fucking up CJ knee when goddamn you still got the knee killer on your roster right now. Wayne. And goddamn Jared Wayne, who damn near almost ended Tank Dell career.
He damn near did.
Yeah. So,
let's talk about it, man. No. I don't give a damn about that. He on my team. He can't hear none of my players no more.
Mm-mm. So I know. In the next couple days, I think our next show is on Wednesday. Anyway, I think next Wednesday is our next show.
Yeah, and that is the legal tampering period.
Right.
The official start of the legal tampering period for NFL free agency. So there will be a lot of moves announced. There'll be a lot of trades. There'll be a lot of signings. There'll be a lot of hullabaloo, what they call it, hullabaloo, on Wednesday. So yes, y'all come right back next Wednesday to the H-Town Rundown. We'll be reporting these moves live at 7:00 again, as we talk about all the drama that is unfolding in the NFL. Will Kyler Murray be traded to the New York Giants? And if he's traded to the New York Giants, is Arizona taking Shadur Sanders or Cam Ward?
What's their pick number?
I'm pretty sure if they trade for Kyler Murray, they trade the number 3 overall pick.
Right.
Which then do the Arizona Cardinals jump into the quarterback market?
I mean, you don't have a quarterback. I think you have to, right?
Or do they go to, let's sign Gardner Minshew and let's wait a year and then wait for the next quarterback class? Or do they go after Sam Darnold? Do they go after Sam Darnold?
But you know who the man is eligible to be drafted next year. Once he leaves the mighty Texas Longhorns to a championship game. I'm just saying.
Who?
He's eligible for a draft, sir.
Oh, you talking about Arch?
Arch.
He gonna be looking like golden arches. UT. Yeah, that's not happening, buddy.
That's haters.
Hate to break it to you, but for sure,
he gonna stay 2 years. He gonna stay 2 years.
And they still ain't gonna win shit. That's gonna be the biggest. I'm gonna say this now.
Hater for real.
If UT does not win a national championship with Arch Manning, after all of this shit they talked about Arch Manning, and Arch Manning is the savior, and he's the god of football. If UT does not win a national championship, it'll be the biggest fumble bag in the history of college football sports ever.
And you know what? I'm gonna tell you this. I'm gonna tell you with a straight face. I agree. I agree.
Coach tanking for the number 1 if Arch is there. Man, that's
Arch staying 2 years. He's staying 2 years.
Then guess what? Do you know what? In a perfect world, let the Colts fuck up the next 2 years and they fire Shane Steichen. And Arch is available, and they picking number 1 overall in 2 years. And guess who they hire as their head coach?
Stark is not leaving.
Steve Sarkisian.
Sark is not leaving.
Do my heart well.
I mean, as a Texan fan, as a Houston Texans fan, I would love the fact to see Sarkisian as a coach. And I don't believe in his coaching, but I don't want to see Arch there either.
Hold on. Serious said ESPN 30 for 30, the best team that never was. Shout out DJ A. But shout out everybody in the chat, man. Appreciate y'all for coming through on this episode, right at 200 live. Appreciate y'all. Texas Tangent, to real Houston sports fan, Brandon Hollum. DJ popped in late. We got Ruben in the building, Big B. Alfredo, my boy Alfredo. Shout out to him. DQ, the red key Don. And then you got Rodney Bryce.
You guys playing that one day, Tony. You guys playing the name for us.
DQ, hey. Yeah, I see him regularly on Sarge podcast. So, we are family. Texans Underground as well. I did say Rodney Bryce. Daniel Berry Sports, he pops into every single episode of the H-Town Rundown, whether it be football or basketball. Shout out to Daniel Berry Sports. Faithful listener, man. I appreciate you.
He's got them notifications turned on.
I'm telling you, you got to like, share, and subscribe, and hit that notification bell. You never miss a beat with the H-Town Rundown. Damian Steels as well. Chill out. Ain't seen you in a minute. Lackville, Cash Style Fool, in here as well. So appreciate y'all all, man, for popping in. Oh, there we go. Y'all know who that is. you living life. With Jamal. Ball with Jamal, man. Balling with Jamal. Shout out Jamal as well in the chat. But yeah, Appreciate y'all all for coming through. Again, like, share, and subscribe to the podcast. Shout out to Mike G, my co-host, and Mr. Aquarius, aka Jules, as my other co-host as well. Shout out to Auntie Swan as well. Appreciate y'all all for coming through, and we will see y'all. Appreciate it, Alfredo. Appreciate it. We will see y'all when we see y'all, man. Peace.